What are the benefits of giving? When you and I are faithful in our giving to God, there are benefits. Number one, giving draws us closer to God. How does giving draw us closer to God? Some will be asking, how? Now, the Bible says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Now, the Bible did not say maybe. He said, there will your heart be also. Wherever we put our money, that is where our heart must be. If you put your money in an investment, that is where your heart will be. If you put your money in your house, that is where your heart will be. If you put your money in your career, that is where your heart will be. And if I put my money in the house of the Lord, then my heart will be in God's kingdom. Am I communicating? See, money is like a magnet. Wherever we put it, it tends to pull our hearts. Hearts and money goes hand in hand. Wherever we put our money, our heart must be there. So that means if my treasure or my finances is going to God's kingdom, then my heart is getting closer to Him. Every time we give, it draws us closer to God. Giving is the nature and the characteristic of God. The Bible says in John 3 verse 16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only and one Son, His most precious Son. God gave His best because He loves you and I. Now, I will tell you the reason why God gave His best. If God never gave His best, God would have destroyed the world. Am I communicating? Yes, God have to give mankind His best. That is why God's heart is in mankind. For God so loved the world and He gave the most precious gift He has. He loved mankind. When we give, we become more like God. God gave His best. So you must give your best to God. Giving also draw us closer to God. Giving draw us closer to God. Giving is an act of worship. Yeah, it's an act of worship. Okay, have you ever come to a service and you feel a little down, or you feel a little discouraged, or you feel a little far from God, but then you begin to sing and worship Him, and you put your focus on Him, and the next thing you know that you are feeling a little better. Why? Because worship draws us closer to God, and just like singing is an act of worship, so is giving. That is why we set aside a time to give unto the Lord. The next thing that giving does is strengthens our faith. See, faith is like a muscle. The more you and I exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Our giving proves the reality of our faith. Sometimes God will use finances to test our faith. Have you ever had to decide between paying a bill or giving your tithes? You only have so much finances to work with, and you are wondering, how is God going to meet my need if I put Him first? Well, that is just a test of our faith. God may be saying, do you think I cannot really meet your need? Or do you want to handle it yourself? God says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour you out blessings. Basically, God is saying, I dare you to put me first and I will be committed to bless you. Do you know that there are more promises in the Bible regarding giving than other things? Jesus talked more about giving than He did about heaven and hell. I believe this is because giving is the essence of being like Jesus. When you and I give, it shows that we trust God to meet our need. It shows that we trust God and we believe His promises to meet our everyday need. Giving can and will strengthen our faith. God will stretch and God will test our faith. God promises you and I blessings when we are faithful in our giving. Now, when you and I see God come through time and time again, it should strengthen our faith. Like I said earlier, faith is like a muscle. The more and more you and I exercise it, the stronger it becomes.